pulse.
At the end of the day, man,
The zombie's pulsing.
Yo, what's up?
hey, man, you can go out in reality and check out water. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
That's not good enough for these people, though. It's a shame, but that's the way it is. It's so simple. It's not good enough for them.
Well,
They want more. They want to pay $100.
Bit of a black swan action.
Dude. Well, no,
I want to
man.
spend $1,000 at the casino and walk out a millionaire.
I know, man. Yeah, I want to play for the Lakers.
Me
Ew.
too,
What do you
bro.
want to do, Flat Earth, dude? It's just like, what is going on here? I mean,
I want to play for the Lakers too, bro. I mean,
I'll play. Oh, dude, we'll win championships. Give me a uniform and get me the basketball. I'll pass it.
I'll pass it.
I'll pass too, dude. We'll be like, this is a nuanced team in the modern day NBA. Two guys on the court at the same time willing to pass the ball. We're gonna win.
Interesting.
But anyways, yeah. How did you guys end up in this channel? New guys,
Why not?
MungMe and Zombie Pulse. Yeah, why not?
I don't know. We're just
Why not?
we got really bored of the war room, and now we're just
The war room.
Scouting
What
around.
war? Which war?
Yeah, we
Which
were in
war are you
war
guys
room.
bored of? No, time out. Which war are you guys bored of?
no, not a war.
The war
Just
between
the war room
Adam
VC.
and some guy.
Yeah.
We're
Oh.
bored of that one.
Have you guys? Real quick? Have you guys seen water before?
Yes, I have seen water before.
Yeah.
I'm drinking
Just
some.
rain.
Could you just real quick briefly describe to me what would you describe the surface of said water as? Would you describe it as flat or curved? Surface of water.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
surface of water is
Don't overthink it.
Kind of
Just
curved.
yeah, I would say
Like
curved.
when a raindrop drops on the surface,
Anyway,
it kind of sits there round like a fucking dew.
a glass of water and up. Let's go pond.
Yeah, because you got the wake and all that, it's always moving, so it's always
Back
kind of
up.
rippling and curved. So yeah,
Running pool. So when it's at rest, how would you describe the surface of it when it's at rest?
still,
What?
still,
Still?
Without wave.
You would describe
Yeah.
the surface of the water as still when it's at rest.
yeah, I'd be like, yeah, the water's still.
Okay, now would you say that still is curved still, or kind of like a flat still?
I know what you're trying to make me say, you little guy, but I want you to know this.
Okay.
I'm looking at a pond, right? Now let's look at the ocean. I can't see just an endless plane of ocean. I see eventually the ocean ends and the sky begins. Therefore,
what
that
you
means
see-
that there's a curvature and a drop off in the.
Oh,
I'm asking about what you see, though. What
That's
you
what I see. I see a curve. What do
You
mean,
see
bro?
the surface of contained water. You see curved.
No, I see a flat there.
With that, all right. Well, all right.
Well, it kind of
It is what-
just depends on
it is
like
what it
how
is.
large the
Flat.
surface is,
does it?
From
Yeah.
from a human
Absolutely it does.
viewpoint.
Okay, how
It
big
does-
does the surface have to be?
Well,
How
just
I- how
depends
I-
on the
Because the curve,
vision
the
of the
Earth is
person.
so big in retrospect to our body and out what we can see that
Because
we
it's
can't,
like
Curve is so
we
big.
can't just look out into the horizon and immediately see. Oh yeah, it's obviously curved because we can't see that. We need once you get up into once you get up higher, then you
We
can start to
agree.
see.
We
Okay.
agree.
We're in agreement.
Yes. I get you.
One
But,
of
okay, so
us.
then what?
One of us. One of
I
us.
don't get what the. I don't get what that whole.
welcome to
spiel
Flat
is
Earth.
about.
Welcome to Flat Earth. The
What?
curve is in your imagination.
Bro, what?
Who?
You have to be really
What,
high.
dude, what
to
are
see
you
it, right?
talking about?
Like really high to see the curve, like way
That's not what
high.
I mean.
How high? How high do
No,
I have
just
to see the curvature? How
Hey,
high?
high on what?
On
high,
what?
high enough. Well,
No,
not
Oh,
on any substance.
kilometers. I
that
want to know
You
doesn't
how
just
sound
high.
very
say,
scientific.
I don't know. I would
Dog, how
say,
high?
once you can get, let's say, 500 feet in the air, you can start to see a curvature.
Oh my god,
Top the
500
I don't know.
cat.
Mongos.
1,000 feet.
Yeah.
There,
Hey,
feet. Sorry,
welcome
miles.
to the
Sorry,
chat,
miles.
fellas.
500
How did
miles.
you
I said
guys
feet.
arrive here?
I meant
I
miles.
have two questions. How did you arrive here, and when did you hear that the Earth was flat?
Huh?
When did you hear that the Earth was flat?
I didn't hear the Earth is flat, bro. What are you talking about?
You talking about?
You didn't hear about it?
No.
Well, that's what we're talking about right now.
Oh,
So just this moment in time, you're realizing that the water ball that's been presented to you on TV is just like, is this happening in real time? You've
Yeah.
never heard about the concept of flat Earth before,
no.
huh? Well,
Huh.
welcome.
brother.
This is unique.
Yeah, this is super unique. We can say, hey man, I looked at Earth for 10 years. I don't know how old you are, but decade. And say, hey man,
21.
water's level, bro. Guaranteed. That's it. Water's level.
Water is level. You're right.
Yeah,
Why don't we
it's
I
not
agree.
controversial.
put some
It's
meat
not
on
a
the
controversial
potatoes,
statement.
That's
present
true.
the
Yeah.
Black Swan, the Black Swan image, the video, high definition video, the image that goes
What?
along with it.
Let's talk about water. Yeah,
Image.
the whole.
And let's go ahead and just get rid of the alleged radius of the globe, so there's no confusion as to why we know the Earth's not a ball.
No, but it is. Why isn't
No, you said that water's level.
it? Mm-hmm.
How do you get a ball out of level water?
It's because inside of the ball there's little holes and craters that it fills into. What are you talking about? Along the surface with
I was about
gravity,
to
that
ask you the
gravity
same
is
thing.
holding it. Gravity is pushing it into the
Flat.
Earth.
But you said it's flat.
No, I said that the Earth is
Yes.
round and that the
No,
water is.
But you said water at rest is level at its surface. You agreed with that.
Mhm.
Toby Dog
Yeah.
asked you, and he directly asked you for a
Mhm.
purpose.
Yes.
Okay, and you agreed. That's
Uh-huh.
that's reality, and now you're telling me that it's not reality.
No,
Yeah,
I'm telling you that yes, water is level. Yes. But water is only level on the ground that it is presented on.
what?
If water is in that pond, it's going to be
Where else
level
are you?
for that land.
Where else are you
For that
expecting
strip of land.
Hold on. Where else are you expecting water to be level
the
other
world.
than the ground that it's presented
All around
upon?
I'm talking about the area, like that crater, that spot that the water
The ocean,
is
yeah,
in.
a pothole, an ocean, a lake, a pond.
Yes.
It's all flat.
No, it isn't.
No, you agreed. Toby Dog asked you, and you agreed.
Mm-mm. I agreed that it was level, not that it
He
was
said
flat.
only some things.
Well, what's the difference?
So how many sections of level
Word.
water make up a sphere?
What? How many sections
How
of
many
water make up?
sections of level water make up a sphere?
Also ich meine, wir können jetzt auch eine große
However many there are on the Earth.
Verbrauchermäßig keinen Unterschied. Aber das ist halt auch nicht schön.
What? Somebody's hot micing also. Low track just hot micing.
Is somebody real time translating English to whatever language you're speaking? Because if so, that's okay, but we can hear it.
No, they're watching a German film in the background.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much flat smacking, self-flat smacking
Sorry,
going
that was
on right
me.
now.
Flat smacking. What's that?
What you just did.
I don't know what the fuck that means. Can you explain it?
Yeah, dude. I'll shut up. But yeah, you acknowledge water is flat in reality, and then you're saying no, Earth's a ball. No, water's flat. No, Earth's a ball. You're flat smacking yourself.
All right, bro. No, the Earth is a ball.
Hey,
Earth is
they
round.
say truth hurts, and it's definitely not a ball because the water doesn't do that. So
I need more proof.
Yeah, but it fills in because it's a sphere. Like a sphere is
Yes.
defined by its volume, and there's only a finite amount of water within
the
the
water's not
sphere,
inside the
and
sphere.
it enters through the sphere.
Hold on, the water's not inside the sphere, my boy. It's supposed to be on the outside, and
No,
outside
it's
of balls.
there's water that goes pretty deep into the sphere.
Hold on. The outside of a ball is not a container for water, dude. Like,
But
what are you talking
the
about?
inside of the ball holds water, though.
That we're on the outside of it. Like, are you okay?
Uh-huh. Oh no, I'm good. I'm just saying that
Absolutely positive.
even if you
What you're describing?
like if you walk around and you think it's all flat, like I guess
The
do
water
your
is.
thing.
The water.
No,
is.
like okay.
Yeah. I'm good with
Yeah.
that. I'm good with that right there.
Okay.
I mean, of course, the Earth
Fair
has
enough.
mountains and
It
stuff.
just doesn't
valleys.
explain the moon though.
What
What's
the
that
hell
got to
does
do
that
with the
even
Earth?
mean?
The
That has
moon.
nothing to do with the Earth, dude.
Oh no,
Red
I
herring.
understand that, but
Dude, time out.
does-
Let
it
me
does-
tell you something. Let me tell you something. Your understanding of the moon is based on the idea that the Earth is a ball.
well no, it controls the water around the earth though.
No,
That's
no,
why
no,
there's
no.
low tide, high
The,
tide.
the moon story is that the Earth was smashed with an asteroid, and it created a dust cloud that turned into the moon. So if the Earth isn't a ball, if there's no curvature on the Earth's surface, as shown in water, then what's the hell does it matter what you think the moon is?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Fair enough.
Okay, but what is the moon? Let's talk about that for a
Doesn't
second.
matter. It's not the Earth.
dude.
Doesn't matter
I'm
what it
curious.
is, bro. Low key, to be honest, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
the moon is
The Earth is
spinning,
flat,
but we
then what's
only
the
ever
moon
see one
for?
side of it.
Doesn't matter. There's no reason to compare the Earth to the moon anyway. This is a
Yeah,
flat
that's
Earth
off
server.
topic. That's not the, yeah, thank you. It's not the channel topic.
Look, well, if you even if you want your cake and eat it, like you can have the moon being a sphere. You can have that. That's fine. Even if it is, which is probably not, it doesn't change the nature of the Earth or the ground, which is not moving, and the water is definitely flat. So I don't really care what the moon is, to be honest. But
So
in
do you guys
reality,
think
I
that
don't
you
think
can
anyone
walk off
actually
the
knows.
edge of the world?
No, hold on. Let's
Doesn't
let
work like
the
that.
last thing be addressed. We can't just go off onto something else when the last thing is being addressed.
Well, I think we wrapped up the moon thing, but I want to. I'll take the
Yeah,
edge
I just
question.
wanted to hear him. I just wanted to hear him say like or or nuh. I just wanted to hear him say something. He goes, "Oh, I just want to walk off the earth." It was that wasn't
I
even the
didn't say
same
that.
person. Who,
Don't put words in my
okay.
mouth. I didn't say that,
Who,
sir.
okay, so it wasn't you. So what's your response?
My response is, so do you guys think that you can walk off of the edge of the world?
Well, I'll take this
Oh,
one.
okay, so it
A
was
flat
you.
earth.
I'll take this one.
Walk.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. In fact, I don't know how you would attempt to walk off the ground.
Hey, but the earth is flat.
Or-
Isn't there an
hold
end
on.
to it?
Hold on a second.
No, it's like Pac-Man.
It doesn't work like that. So what it's not is a solar system with like a flattened planet in it where you can go to some place and then like launch yourself off into outer space. That's not our position. We don't think of the Earth like that. So there's no edge in that sense, the way you're probably thinking of it. But in reality, when you're on the ground walking around, I don't know how you would quote unquote fall off of the ground. But if you have questions about the edge of reality, I would probably just ask you about your universe. Like, where's the edge of that? You
Well,
probably
no, because
you
that's not what I'm concerned about.
hold on. You probably don't know because no one's been there, and it's probably a very large place that's likely not been fully explored. I would answer all of the questions about that you're asking about our edge in the exact same way. The edge of reality, wherever that may be, I don't know what that's like. Probably not been explored fully. And you're talking about the boundaries of reality, dude. Even in your world,
it's
no one's
probably
been
pretty
there.
I'm not
gnarly.
talking about the boundaries of reality, guy.
That's exactly what you're talking about.
I'm
The
talking
edge.
about the
That's what you asked
if the
about.
earth is
Exactly what
flat.
you
No,
just
no, no,
asked.
no. Hear me
You don't
out.
even
Hear
know
me
what
out.
you're asking. You don't
Hear
even
me
know what
out.
you're asking.
If the
I
earth
know
is
what
flat,
you're
right?
asking.
The
Yeah,
earth is
it's not
flat.
the way you're thinking of it, Mom.
With the
It's not the
sphere,
way
you
you're
can walk
thinking of it.
around the sphere
No,
1,000 different
no,
ways,
no.
and
I'm
you will
gonna stop
always
you. I'm
remain
gonna
on
stop
the
you. I'm
sphere.
gonna stop
If
you.
if the
I'm gonna
earth is
stop you.
flat,
I'm gonna
then that
stop you.
means that there's going to be an
I'm gonna stop you because I already answered your question. This doesn't work the way you're thinking.
okay.
You
So then
cannot sit
answer
there.
it correctly, bro.
No,
You're
I
talking
already
about you're getting
did.
into
Dude, you're asking a question that's been asked thousands and thousands of times. I'm answering it the exact way it needs to
Yeah.
be answered.
well,
You're
that's
talking
not
about. You're
an
talking
answer
about.
that anybody can
Dude,
understand.
shut the fuck up for a second so I can answer your question and help you out. You're thinking of a pizza planet in space where you can go to an edge and like quote unquote fall off. That's not our position. I already told you that. If you want to ask questions about our edge, you're now talking about the boundaries of reality, no different than how the edge of the universe would be, which you don't know anything about. You don't care about it. No one's been there. No one's probably gonna get there anytime soon. That's exactly how we feel about quote unquote our edge. It's the boundary of reality, wherever that is. I have no idea. But if you're asking about a flattened sphere in the solar system, like a flat planet, that's not our position. You're
Yeah. Who
imagining some
is this guy?
stupid,
Who are
silly,
you
sloppy
talking?
flat
Who?
Earth that doesn't
Okay,
exist.
so
What is this guy's
I'm
name?
just
Let
trying
me
to
say something to you.
understand.
Mung
I'm
me,
just
mung
trying to
me, mung me,
understand. Give me
mung
one
me, mung
second.
me, mung me, mung me,
Oh
mung
my
me.
god!
Bro,
Your
let him
prayers to
go.
God are. I gotta say something
Shut
before I
up,
forget.
bro. Come on, let's go.
No, you
Get it done
shut
with.
up. Your whole idea of there, you've assigned some sort of limitation to Earth because you're convinced that Earth is suspended in some sort of void. You need to come to grips with that you're wrapped up in that idea. That's what's embedded in your psyche. That Earth must be embedded in some greater space.
Yeah, the Earth is not in outer space, bro. That's not our position.
That's all I'm trying to say. And
Okay,
it frustrates me. It frustrates me because you guys dig in on something that's it's a complete misunderstanding.
okay, I got you. So now I have another question.
Thank God.
If I
Okay,
go
so
ahead,
what do you mean you got me? You got me. And I got another question now. I mean, what the fuck?
You think like I
Sorry.
understand you? Hold
understand
on.
what you're saying to me.
Just upset by that
I
word.
understand what you're saying, and
You
now I
understand
have
what
a
you're saying,
question
bro.
for it.
Yeah, go on with
That
the
is
next
what
one.
I mean. Okay, so
If
I
you're gonna ask if you walk in a
understand.
straight
So
line,
say theoretically, or okay, so say that
if I
we
walk in
don't
a
know,
straight
there's
line,
no space, and that the Earth is flat. Correct.
yeah.
We don't care about what all that shit is up there. All that. Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm in the world. If I
Yeah.
get onto a plane that has enough fucking fuel to fly completely straight,
Here we go. I already knew
why
it. I called
will
it. Cat.
that
I called
bring
it.
me back to the same spot? No, okay, and that's it. Now that's a real question. It's not a dig. It's
I
not a
got you.
troll. It's a real question.
Easy. This one's an easy
That's
one.
it.
It's an easy one. It's an easy one. On the globe, you're not actually going straight. You're going in a circle. You go around the globe in a circle, come right back where you started. You can easily do this on a flat Earth. Go in a circle, come right back where you started. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And actually, to address this in another way, you can't actually go straight. Like, there's no method of travel where you can go out into reality. Of course, this works really good on paper. Hypothetically, you just go straight. But when you're in reality, you can't walk straight. You can't drive straight. You can't crawl straight. You can't fly straight, sail straight. There's no possible way to do this in reality where you're going straight with no deviation, nothing in the way, can't part the seas. You're going to end up having to go one way or the other, turn, go around shit. If you're flying, there's corridors. This isn't Grand Theft Auto where you can just like do whatever you want. There's certain corridors when you fly, just like when you drive on the highway or on a road, it's going to weave you around, right? So there's really no way to go straight. But I think what you're really saying is, how do I go in one direction and come back where I started? Easy. You go in a circle, east and west around the flat earth. You're going in a circle. Now, I'll give you just a small example. MungMe, if you could imagine, are you in a room right now?
Yeah.
Okay, just imagine this, just for quick demonstration to show you how this works.
Okay.
Imagine in the center of your room, there's a pole there. We'll just call this the North Pole. Okay. And then, so if that's the North Pole, then south would be all of the walls around you in all directions. So if you put your back to that middle pole, basically, and you start walking in a straight line, you will be heading south no matter what direction you're going. So then, if that's the case, let's say we walk to the wall and then we turn around and we walk back towards the pole. Now we're heading north. So that's how we go north or south in this scenario. How do we go east and west? We would need to go in a circle around the pole in the middle of the room. So one way would be east and one way would be west. So if you mark an X on the floor and then you start traveling, quote, east or west, one direction, you can go around in that one direction east or one direction west and come back right where you started. You basically did a circle. Now, on the globe, it works no different. If you mark X on the globe and then you go around in a circle, come right back to your X. You just went in a circle around the globe. No one's ever actually done this north to south on the globe as they've claimed. So that's how you go in one direction and come back where you started. You go in a circle. Yeah, how's that?
Okay. I like that. That one actually got me thinking, and that one felt like the most I've been answered out of this whole time I've had questions.
Hey, there we go.
We like the way it feels.
Dr. Marco.
But I still don't
W
believe
in
that
chat.
the world is flat or
That's
the
fine,
earth is
bro.
flat. I still
Yeah,
don't.
we heard
It'll
you.
take
We
you a
get
little
it.
time.
Welcome to
take you a
Flat
little
Earth.
I just
It slipped out.
I
You
don't
don't gotta rush the
see
process, bro. It's fine.
I don't see okay, I see how when you were describing it, the pole in the middle and then all the walls around are, south, whatever.
Do
I
you
get
see
that.
how it?
I
Do
like
you
that.
see how it's possible that everyone's been fooled?
Let him cook.
Okay, I can definitely see how you guys can sit here and believe that. Because it's something that feels believable. And I feel like if I was more open to it instead of
Dug in,
how I feel
second
towards it,
cost. Yeah,
then I could definitely
denial.
It's
see
Grief.
what's
fine,
up.
bro. It's gonna take you a little bit of time to. It's not like an overnight process, um, and it's not really something we just feel good in believing. In fact, it doesn't feel good when the whole world thinks you're retarded. It doesn't. That is not a. It's not a good feeling per se. But I think it's not something you fully understand. You'll come to learn it more and more as you engage with the flat earthers. We can kind of help you understand our position. Like you 2 seconds ago, you thought flat earth was like a pizza in space. So it's no wonder why you're
But
not
it still
fully getting it.
technically is.
No, it's not. No, it's
I
definitely
mean, yes, it is.
not. No, it's
Stop the
not.
How are you
cat.
going to tell me that it's not? You're
That's because
saying, look, hear
that's
me
not
out.
our
Let me
position.
speak.
Wait,
Let me
wait, wait,
speak.
No,
hold
dude.
on.
You're okay. You're
Hold on.
right. It's not a
Hold on.
pizza in space. You're
This
right.
is the same
It's a
guy who
pizza box
understood
in
that.
space.
No,
Because
this is
what
the
you're
same.
saying
No.
is the pole in the middle, and then imagine the room with the walls, correct?
But that
Okay,
would
so
be
all of the walls are the south. So that means that there's still an end because there's still an end to
No.
the South Pole.
okay.
Oh my
That's fine.
goodness.
That's fine. That's fine. But see, this the thing is like if I still think the Earth is really big and it's not been fully explored. It's kind of like I always compare flat Earth to the universe. Flat Earth is not like a spherical object, right? Because the globe is an object within a big ass place that hasn't been fully explored. No one knows what the shape of that is, and no one knows where the edge of that is. That's exactly
We
how the
don't we
flat
don't
Earth is.
know it's the universe though. You're
No, no,
making shit up.
well, hold on. For
Where's
someone
this
that
universe
does,
you're talking
hold
about?
on, Godric, you're cockblocking me right now. For someone that does believe in the universe, that it's the globe is not it. It's one small object within this big ass, fully unexplored, not fully explored place, and no one knows the shape of it, and no one knows where the edge is. So I'm saying that the flat Earth is like that. Flat Earth is not an object within a place, it is the place. Just like you can pick up tons of objects that would represent a globe, a apple, a basketball, and a grape, or whatever, right? But there's no object that you can pick up that would represent the universe. So then, but the problem is a lot of people think of flat Earth as like some sort of flat object, like a plate, a disc, a frisbee, a pizza, etc. That you can't do that. It's not an object, it's the place. So there's no object you can pick up that's going to represent all of reality. So of course, Godric, I don't believe that there's a universe or outer space or whatever. I'm saying that the universe is Earth, essentially. It's a very big ass place. No one knows the shape of it. No one knows where the boundaries are. But when we talk about flatness or flat Earth, we're talking about the surface, especially at the ocean or the lakes. They are flat, even with their waves and stuff. That's what we mean. It's flat. It's not curving to a big hill or whatever. So that's why I'm a flat earther, mostly because of the way the water behaves. I mean, for other things as well. We also don't think the Earth moves. Also, that's a big key element. The Earth doesn't move or go anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, this is my favorite question. I love this question. You said you're in a building that right now, right?
Yeah.
Is that building moving?
Yeah.
Now, people want to make flat Earth to be like, oh, it's so crack pipe crazy, but you have to say that you're in a moving building, and I'm gonna say that no, like I'm no, any building that I ever go in doesn't move. So you
About
tell me out of
earthquakes.
those two positions, which one's crazy? It's not me.
About earthquakes or tremors.
We're not talking about shivering.
Shifting
It's
all
like
the time.
if
It's
you're
moving all the time.
we're not talking about like vibration. Like if you're in your bed and you have a cold and you're shivering and you're cold, you're not
Mhm.
going anywhere.
But
We're
I'm
talking
moving.
about moving. We're talking about moving, not just quaking, for example. Because
Yeah,
they're
but
saying
I'm
the
still moving.
globe.
It's still the action of moving.
They're saying
What is moving in the Urban Dictionary? Well, you know what I mean?
well, you know what
In
I'm
this
saying. They're
context,
saying the Earth is spinning, bro.
Making actions.
yeah, dude. In this context, we're talking about either on a rotating on an axis, so a constant rotational velocity, and or on a particular trajectory over a larger rotation or orbital path, right?
I
Okay.
always use the
So
example of
no,
like when
my
you go to
house
the
is not
grocery
moving
store.
in the sense of a car or a train
Just quickly, like
or
I
me
always
when
use the
I walk.
example of when you go to the grocery store and you go to like the cashier and they have that conveyor belt. You put your groceries down and they move towards the cashier. Obviously, they didn't walk themselves, the banana didn't crawl over, but it's being moved by the thing it's on. So
Mm-hmm.
your building would be like the groceries, and then the conveyor belt would be like the Earth, which is saying they're saying is rotating and moving around the galaxy and stuff like this, right? So when I ask people, "Is your building moving?" is I'm talking about like that. I'm not actually asking if it's like shivering or quaking during an earthquake, dude. I mean, so
Well, it's just daily tremors. They happen all the
that's not
time.
what I'm
But
asking. Dude.
I know that's not what you're asking.
And so focus. But yeah, so I'm saying, is it moving like the groceries on the conveyor belt, or is it not moving at all? And then you have to say that it is moving, and I'm
Sure.
going to say it's not. And There's no way out of those two positions that you could say, "Oh, you guys are so crazy for believing that." It's definitely not us. It's you guys.
Okay. No, it's not moving, but it's because it's moving on such a big scale that we don't feel it.
It's not moving. That's our position, bruh.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
How would
Okay.
you explain wind?
Yeah, welcome to stationary Earth.
Win.
Just wondering.
Wait, how
How would
would
I
you explain it?
what?
How would you explain it?
Well, wind currents are formed from the Earth's rotations.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not. That wouldn't make any
What
sense.
about on
You
a
got
day when
wind
it's
that comes
quiet, there's
from
no wind out?
every direction.
Dude, no way.
Dude, they're caused by pressure difference.
No
Come on.
scientist thinks that the wind is from Earth's rotation.
Yeah, it'd be consistently windy.
And the wind's always changing directions too.
Oh shit, maybe the rotation's changing directions too.
Yeah, that's funny, bruh.
So on a day with no wind, did the Earth stop spinning?
I think he realized that was like he shouldn't have said that. Probably.
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
He heard that sound effect and then it was over.
Like, bruh.
So here's a question: if there's no wind and we're just sitting outside and there's barely even a breeze, Earth must just be moving real slow in that moment. Like, come on, bro.
That's not what we're saying.
Stop the cat.
Don't worry, we've heard a lot of stupid shit. The first few months.
You wouldn't be the first one to say that, but it's just like no, they don't actually say that wind is caused by the Earth like moving around, spinning, and shit like that.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, who killed the chat?
So the Earth consider is the floor of the universe. We don't know how far it goes. It goes indefinite.
Chat says disagree.
What was that? It goes indefinitely?
I said we don't know how far it
Huh?
goes. It's indefinite.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about
When Jaron got to the ice shelf, he said, "Well, I'm not going to go out there because there's red flags, and there's red flags. I mean, there's ice holes, and if you fall in there, no one will come get you." Is what he said. What a dumbass answer for not exploring the ice shelf.
Okay. But I thought you were talking about beyond Antarctica.
Yeah, we don't know how far it goes. We've never been there. Do
Right.
you know?
Gotcha. No. But to say that it goes on forever, I'm not sure if that would work.
I said indefinite.
Indefinitely,
There's no edge. There's no
indefinite
end that we know.
Right. Indefinite is synonymous with going on forever.
Yeah, I mean it can go. It can keep going. We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
No one's got to the end.
Think that's the case. That was my point. I don't.
Don't confuse the new guy.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, dude.
So you think that there's the end of the Earth?
I think so. Okay, and that would be corroborated. Right. But it would be corroborated with another part of the argument, which is we're breathing air, right? That air is under. In order to actually have gas pressure or air pressure, you need to have a fixed volume. under which a fixed amount of gas would be circulating within, causing pressure by pushing against the walls of the container, i.e., a fixed volume. So if you have a fixed volume, if you have fixed dimensions, i.e., not indefinite.
Okay, so makes sense. However, have you considered that these air molecules, right, that we're breathing?
Yeah.
What if they're limited to a certain amount?
That's what I mean. So you have a fixed volume in which you have a fixed amount of air. That air is under pressure. Therefore, that air is contained. Therefore, the boundaries are defined. Capiche?
Yeah, but I think it was Sleeping Warrior who explained if you were to pour air molecules on top of a flat surface,
Yep. They would dissipate.
you would have a fixed amount.
Yeah, and they would dissipate, right?
And then the heavier air molecules would fall down, and the space would any space you had would be on top.
Okay. Well, let me ask you. Those heavy molecules, I'm presuming you're thinking of some denser gas like sulfur hexafluoride or carbon dioxide or whatever. You'd pour that on the table. Would that gas stay in the lower tranches of the room? Or would it eventually homogenize with the rest of the gas and dissipate in all directions?
Well, it would equalize.
Okay, right. So it would balance out, spread around. It would not stay like you wouldn't be able to walk into a room that had different gases pour into it and inspect like the first layer of the room. Be like, oh, here's all the carbon dioxide, and go up a few feet and say, oh, here's all the oxygen, and go up one more tranche and say, oh, here's all the helium. No, they mix together eventually, right?
Well, yes and no, because the higher you go up, the less of it you have.
But that's not the point. The point is not. The point is not to say. The point here is we're talking about the composition in any given fixed volume, right? So even if you have less, because the pressure is lower at a higher altitude, you look at the composition, right? X percentage this, Y percentage that, right? You go to another portion, you check it out, X position this, Y composition that, or whatever, percentage. That was the point.
Right, but my point is you can have lower pressure above and higher pressure below and not conflict with your theory about gas pressure in containers.
Yeah, that part's not in contention, dude.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
You can have gradation within a fixed volume.
Yeah, propane canisters have a small gradient.
Yeah. Small example. I think it was Apocryphon comes in here, talks about the coker, some sort of industrial device or whatever, where they separate materials or gases or whatever in a large kind of silo-like thing, whereby at each different tranche, each different layer of the machine, they have different temperatures, right? So and with that they read off different pressures and are able to isolate different gases at different levels, or something to that effect. So the point is, to your question about is it indefinite, I don't think so.
Fun to speculate on, but we don't know.
I was in here earlier this morning, and I completely disproved everything.
Do it again.
Being what? What were you talking about?
Oh, bro, it was big. But it's going to have to give me. I just want to sit here for 5 minutes, beat my mic, and then I'll come at you and just blow your minds away. I just had a shower, got back from work, and turned my laptop. I just want to chill, and then I can blow you.
You were here 2 hours ago. Oh, what about water?
I like
What
water.
about water?
I love
Well,
water.
if you put water in a container, its surface will be flat, and they'd say we live on a water ball. Presented to you on TV is just
When
welcome to stationary Earth.
I.e., a fixed volume. So if you have a fixed volume, if you have you
For
Water, right?
indefinitely,
There's no edge. There's no.
i.e., a fixed volume.
Fun to speculate on, but we don't know.
I, I was in here earlier this morning, and I completely disproved everything.
Do it again.
Being what? What were you talking about?
Oh, bro, it was big. But it's going to have to give me. I just want to sit here for 5 minutes, beat my mic, and then I'll come at you and just blow your minds away. I just had a shower, got back from work, and turned my laptop. I just want to chill, and then I can blow you.
You were here 2 hours ago.
No. I've been at work
Yeah,
for 9
you were talking
hours.
about how low. You were talking about what a knobby you are for TV. Or maybe it was 4 hours ago, earlier this morning.
I just did a 9-hour shift. So yeah. Once again, you don't have the documentation, sir. Okay.
What are you talking about?
The truth. It's the truth that's going to blow the lid.
We'll share it again. We're all ears.
Yeah, I know. I just need 5-10 minutes
9-hour
to
shift is what?
meditate.
This is going to be fun.
Sure, go do your thing there. Whatever. It's all good. Nobby, where you at, man? You're holding us up.
No. Whoa. The only thing I'm doing is holding up the earth on the turtle, on the back of a turtle, because we are round. You guys think that we are from Asgard or something. You know what I mean? Asgard.
What the fuck?
What's that turtle standing on?
It's standing on. No, well, there's a turtle, then there's an elephant, and then the world is balanced. No, the elephant is on the stand on the elephant. The turtle's on the elephant, and the earth that's round, which is blowing your theory away, is
What's the
balancing
elephant standing
on
on? What's the elephant on?
Get the fuck out of here.
on a heap of monkeys. The four monkeys, the four viruses, the four horsemen. But I'm still resting. I just you guys
And
talk amongst yourselves.
Hemedal guards the Bifrost Bridge so that no one pass. He's blocking the giants. And the Midgard serpent is stretching around the whole world and eating its tail.
I'm back. My phone rang. I had to get up, so I have to reset my resting, my process of resting before I blow your mind away. So let's do like 10 minutes from now. So someone set their stopwatch. And then I can totally disprove everything, and your lives will be different. You can get a job. You don't have to be on a mental health plan anymore. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible.
TV Nobby. Look, father to father. What are you talking about? That's a picture of you and your daughter, right?
That's my wife. That'd be weird if that was my daughter. Look at how I'm holding the individual.
I have so. The cult of scientism, a critique of centered dogma. Scientism, as embodied by institutions like NASA, promotes a trouble in orthodoxy rooted in human centrism.
Homie.
20 cops. What's it's just quiet air in here right now, or what's going on?
Pretty much, yeah. TV Nobby said he's got some goods, but he's on ice at the moment.
Let's see.
Nobby, you there?
Yeah, I got smoke for TV Nobby.
He said he was in here earlier or something. Laid it all out or whatever.
Oh, I've seen this guy before. Welcome, Lucas. And welcome, whoever just joined. I've seen that profile picture before. Hey, I mean,
Yeah, it's the Australian guy.
I don't know if I'd be showing off my 304 in the chat, but hey, man, if that's true too.
Why is it unmuted? Hello. Hello. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me?
No, no one heard you. Yep, nobody heard you.
Nobody heard me. No worries.
Just kidding. What's up, dude?
Not much. Not much. I got triple dared by my friend to come in here and say the Earth's round, and then I was told I'm going to get fucking beasted for a while. So I sat here.
Yeah. Facts. 20 cups. Take this. I gotta go for a couple minutes.
Who dat?
It's Lucas.
It's Lucas.
What's up, Luke?
I
How
got
you doing,
told
man?
I got triple dared to come in here and say the Earth's round, and then told I was going to get freaking roasted for 10 minutes.
It all depends, man. If you're polite, we'll be polite. We get a lot of people who come in here and are just, rabid animals. Like start calling us names and threats and shit like that. I mean, they're rare. The threats are rare, but they're very antagonistic, So we try to mirror, whatever we get. So if you're cool, we're cool, man. Not to worry.
Fair enough. That's the guy. No, I just joined this one just now.
That's cool. That's cool.
I didn't realize there was so many people in this freaking chat. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Half of them are probably asleep, but we like to listen in. I myself do that sometimes. But it's cool conversation, man. You're more than welcome.
Oh, there you go. So
you have triple dare to come in here. What's the next step of that dare? Just hang out or challenge or what?
No, there was no dare. It was literally just said go in there and say the Earth's round and see what happens.
Oh, okay. What we would ask you, normally the protocol, quote unquote, is we'd ask you how you know that. Inquire into that. Not only for the entertainment, because believe you me, it gets entertaining, but for you to also have a moment of introspection.
Well, to be honest with you, I have no proof that the Earth is round. It's just what I believe in.
Well, that's fine, man. You're entitled.
But I'm coming in here to understand, because I'd like to know from your point of view as well. Right. If that's okay.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Educate me.
Yeah, man. So forgive me, there's a little bit of background noise. In a nutshell, dude, like you, presumably, I grew up believing we lived on a ball, also. But then it turns out that it doesn't present itself that way, right? Water is flat on its surface when at rest, right? And how much flat creates a ball? I mean, you tell me, right? It doesn't make sense. There are many arguments. I mean, this is just my almost 5 o'clock in the morning opening statement there, but there's a lot to it, dude. Very much so. Right, so it doesn't measure that way. The rotation story, there's no measured rotation. All this stuff, it's more of a philosophy than it is anything quote unquote scientific. When you acknowledge that, it's easier to see through some of the weeds when people say, oh, it's the science, globe science. It's like it's not even a scientific question. It's geometry. You follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's basically it.
So what about the gravitational pull of the moon when you get tides? How does that work?
Well, one question I ask is how correlated are they?
Well, if you track tide movements from an app and watch when tides are up and down and watch where the moon is, generally it does collide. From my perspective, but that's a unscientific proof. That's just from my perspective.
Another belief, or you looked into the.
That's just from what I see. It's not really belief. It's not really a scientific conclusion. It's just from what I see.
What did you see?
Say again, sorry?
What did you see?
What I mean is like when you see the tides of the ocean in perspective
Okay.
of where the moon is in the sky, and then the tides of that, how does that come in? Like, how does that work with the flat Earth?
So you mean so in your general area, you tend to see a correlation between when the moon is above you, the tides are different?
Like when the moon's above, when the moon's on the other side of the Earth. Well, from me, this is from what I'm saying. When the moon's not above us, and then the tide's changing. That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, if the moon is the causal agent to that, you would expect that to manifest everywhere the moon is right above, right? Have you ever heard of things called tidal nodes?
Yeah.
Does anyone have the stuff on that? I'm a little occupied right now, but basically there's like a heat map, if you will, illustrating elevation, kind of in different pockets at different times, and they're not correlated with the Earth at all. They tend to be concentrated in disparate areas, regardless of where the moon is. So to say that that is the definitive factor would be kind of misleading, to say the least.
Well, I'm not saying it's the definitive factor. I'm just saying, like, how does that work in the realms of the Earth being flat? Well, then how does that correlate?
I don't know. We just see a light in the sky. It's got little dark spots on it. Right? In this room, in this conversation, the tendency is to kind of dig into what we know or can know for sure and relegate the rest to more or less of a speculation and keep those types of discussion maybe at a minimum so as to not kind of give the impression that we think a certain way that we can't back up. You know? So when we're talking about the Earth itself, we're told that it's a ball or, a spheroidal-like object that spins. Well, if it's a spheroidal-like object, those types of objects have curvature to their surface. When we go out, we don't detect or measure any said curvature, let alone curvature that maps or correlates with the model presented. So it can't be what that model expresses or tries to illustrate. Shit like that. You know what I mean?
Well, there's two problems with the heliocentric tide explanation that I see. There's two high and two low tides during one rotation in front of the moon during a 24-hour period. And also, when there's a directly above you, when the moon's out, they say there's a high tide. There's also a high tide on the antipodal to your position on the other side of the globe, which makes no sense. So the furthest part of the Earth that is furthest away from the moon is also having a high tide, which is not possible in that model.
So what about what was I going to say?
Let me ask you a quick question, Lucas. Do you mind? Is that all right?
That's fine. Yeah, not your educational, but yeah.
Let's say you're at like like Lake Tahoe, for example, which is a little over 20 miles across, and you're at the beach. And if you're on a globe, that means that lake needs to be curving down and away from you, right? To match the globe's radius. How much curvature do you think the globe requires? How much curving drop over distance do you think the globe requires across a 20-mile wide lake? Just from life, just from thinking about being at the beach in the past, without looking it up, just, is it 2 feet, 200 feet?
What do you mean, like how far before you start seeing the curvature of the Earth?
Huh?
Well, so what do you mean, like how far you can see before you start seeing the curvature? Is that what you mean, or?
Yeah. How much curving drop over distance does the globe require across a 20-mile wide lake?
Well, I don't think you'd see it at all, because because I was in the army for 6 years, so I know ships the size of a ship. You see a ship going out to sea from when you're in a port, or another ship, and another ship's a certain distance away from you when you're doing other things. And you can see from a certain distance, you know how far you can see the ship, and then it starts as it gets further and further away. You can know the ship starts, disappear. The whole ship doesn't disappear. It starts disappear at stages. Then it's
Well,
like,
hold on.
okay,
So, hold on. So you're at the beach, right? Looking out across the 20-mile wide lake.
hmm.
How much curvature does the globe require across that 20-mile wide lake? What do you, without looking it up, what do you think? 2 feet, 20 feet, 200 feet?
Oh, you'd need kilometers. The Earth's huge. The Earth is massive. You need a freaking
Right. So how much curving drop does the globe require across a 20-mile wide lake? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know the
So how
answer.
much do you think it is?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Take a guess.
I don't know. Freaking 1,000 meters, kilometer.
That's 3,000 feet of curve across a 20-mile wide lake. That would be the globe would be the size of a small town. Too much curve.
Yeah, probably more than that. Probably at least. But then, from what I said before, if I was to think of that before, you'd need at
So hold on.
least.
So you're at the beach, right? And you're looking across to the shoreline 20 miles away. That shoreline needs to be below you if it's curving down and away
Yeah,
from
but
you.
I don't believe the Earth's that big. I don't see you'd see any freaking curvature at that distance. If that's 20 miles or however far that is kilometers, I don't
Okay.
believe you'd see a curvature at that distance.
Okay. So the globe requires 266 feet of downward curve from that location looking 20 miles across. So if you're on Lake Tahoe, that would mean there's a 27-story building's worth of curve between you and the opposite shoreline. That's what the globe requires for the 3,959 mile radius to be accurate. That's a lot of curve. 10-mile wide lakes require 66 feet of curving drop over distance across a 10-mile wide lake. And we know if you're in the military, I know the radar units on a lot of these ships can track ships and aircraft hundreds of miles away. And that's only, and the radar is a line of sight technology. It's not going over hills of hills
The
of
ones
water.
you're probably thinking of radars from World War II, but I'm talking about radars that we have now that use satellites. Like all our radars use satellites. 90% of it.
Well, all ships still have radar on them.
But most of it still relies heavily on satellites.
So when you were saying, so how far away, when you were watching ships in the distance, tell us a little about that. Like how far away were these ships?
Well, I would know exactly, but I'd have to say at least 30, 40 kilometers probably. And they're just gone. Like you can see them because obviously out there, you can see from what you're seeing from your eyes a fair distance. And then it just starts to go. And when it wasn't, if you look in binoculars, then you can see it, and then it just starts to disappear over the horizon. And it doesn't just disappear instantly; it disappears in stages. And it's like, okay,
So any ship. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I said, like, if you watch it, it goes over the horizon, and you can see like the hull, and the hull's gone, and you can see the top part of the ship, and then the quarters, and then the antennas, and then everything else kind of goes over, or just disappears.
A ship 40 kilometers away would be below 125 meters of curve. Viewing a ship from that far away disproves the globe's dimensions. It should be, what is that in feet? Over 300 and something, 350 feet of curve between you and that location?
No idea in feet. I wasn't. I was really.
That's what it is. The math. I can link a curvature calculator in the side chat.
But that estimate of distance is probably very incorrect, because that was just an estimate. But I don't know. But then again, as I'm saying, this is just something that I believe in. I have no proof. I have nothing, no scientific facts behind the background of me believing the Earth's flat. It's just my opinion. So you probably have a lot of knowledge from your background, and that's I have nothing to back up what I'm saying. So yeah.
So what makes you believe in the globe model? What makes you think, as you and I are having this conversation right now, you're also blasting around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour?
I just haven't, I feel like for me, a lot of things with belief, this religion, everything else, comes down to, how much proof I'm given at a time. And, you're the first person I've ever met that believes the Earth's flat. Like, when I'm 30 years old, there's a lot of people that haven't brought it up, haven't talked about it, or believe the other way. But, that's just, everything comes down. Like, I guess if I stayed in here for weeks and weeks and, was given shitloads of freaking information that, come out the other side and was like, I had more information proving the Earth was flat than less information proving the Earth was round, well, then you'd probably, start to believe what you're saying. But like, I just don't really jump into it.
It's really more than a belief. Like, every kind of measurement you can do would demonstrate a flat surface of that we're on some type of horizontal level topographical plane with no curvature across it at any type of long distance. All measurements.
But I think like the idea to me that we're sitting in space on a flat plane just fucking baffles me. I think the fact that we're either on a plane or a fucking rock in space still fucking baffles me. But either way,
that's a mixing of cosmological models. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna. That may be your primary blocker then, right? Because a lot of people think, like I think you were alluding to, that we think we're this giant pizza flying in space. The one pizza among 7 or 8 other giant spheres, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are fucking retarded." It's like they didn't even ask. And how would anyone know that's what we think? Yeah, you might see some renditions or whatever on the internet, but largely those are, mockeries of sorts. You know what I mean? So if you take that out of your head, you might see it differently, and it might make more sense.
So what do you say again in relative to what you believe we are? Are we like a sort of a plane?
So from what I would say this, right? So from what we can tell, we're basically the floor of the universe, or floor of the realm, the bottom, right? Everything we do, when we look up, we just see up, see little lights in the sky. Some of them behave irregularly and all that. And then below us, no one's gone below 7 or 8 miles or something, right? So as far as we can tell, we're it. You know what I mean? So the cosmology is completely different. We don't see the sun as being the center around which everything else orbits. because nobody's actually witnessed an orbit. It's just a mathematical construct, right? We just see lights in the sky, right? And then that's kind of it. So it's planar in nature. To what extent? I'm unaware of anyone who's gone to the quote unquote end of it, if such a thing even exists. Right, that's an open question. I would think it would, based off of other arguments. But as far as we can tell, again, it's just we're it. You know what I mean?
So when we look up from your perspective, when we look up in space, what do you see?
Well, that's it. So at night we look up, we see little lights in the sky, right? And we can map them over time, and the large majority of these little lights spin around, the pole, North Pole, right? And some of them on the South Pole. And then other ones called planets or wandering stars, they tend to wander around in their own sort of elliptical path. Yay, big deal, right? But the point is, the important thing is when you think about that, that's all we actually witness, right? So everything else that comes from that, these ideas of these things just being these giant gas balls burning, lasting however many millions of years, being trillions of miles away, and the planets being these giant rocks or balls of gas flying around, like when you really think about it, dude, like what gave them what gave people the idea that they could be so strong in such a position that actually hasn't been empirically validated? You know what I mean?
So I'm just trying to work out because obviously if I look up in the sky and with a bloody, we call it a freaking one of those telescope. That's the one. If I look up in the sky on a telescope,
Yeah.
and then look at planets, why?
Right.
If I look at the moon or Jupiter or whatever freaking planet I'm looking at, and there's circles, like they're round. Why are we flat and everything else is round?
So you see circles, right?
I see.
Right.
Planets.
Is a circle the same as a sphere?
I see spheres.
You see spheres. Okay. How do you know there's a? Okay. Good. Yeah. How do you know there's a spheres, sir?
Because if you look at a planet at different points in time, you'll see if you have a good enough telescope, you'll see different parts of that sphere. So if it was flat,
Okay, I hear you. Now here's the thing, right? You'll see different, different or either orientations or different colors, different patterns or whatnot, right? How do you know that is because that's basically one face on a giant sphere that's rotating and not some other phenomena, like something passing in front of something else?
the fact that would be happening if you looked up in the sky consecutively for a week, and if that happened at the same time, because obviously rotation when you're looking up, period over 5 hours at night, you're looking up 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
If that was happening at the exact same time, it would be pretty odd that shadows and stuff or whatever was happening at the exact same time. Be pretty crazy to think.
Right.
So if you're looking up,
Right.
rotational of the
So
sphere.
it's conjecture. Right. So it's conjecture, right? It's not a proven fact. It's just based off of what you see. That's the best idea that you can come up with. That it's a thing that's rotating.
Hey, I put a couple pictures in the side chat of what the orbit paths of those celestial objects look over time from a geostatic or a non-moving Earth-centered point of view. You see those patterns? That's it. If the Earth is not moving and it is in the center. That's what the orbits of all those planets you're looking at look like over time.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit. I've always been that type of stuff has always boggled my mind, man. Absolutely beautiful.
That is just utterly
Yeah,
impossible in the heliocentric model. If we're just blasting randomly through the cosmos,
yeah.
they wouldn't make these
That's
beautiful
another.
patterns.
That's another thing. Yeah, Lucas, if you think about it, right, the ball is spinning on its own axis, right, in the heliocentric model. It's orbiting around the sun. The sun is orbiting around what is it, the galaxy. The galaxy is orbiting around what is it, the giant retractor or something, and then that's supposedly like there's all these different layers of spinning and orbiting and shit, right? And everything is random. So to be able to see things up in the sky at such a consistent pattern or in such a consistent manner, right, with all that randomness, like, do you see the discrepancy? Do you see how
Look, I don't know.
unlikely that is?
Look, you're showing me shit that I don't understand. All right, I fucking have no idea.
So you're on the Earth, and you track you're out there for 5 hours a night watching these lights in the sky move. If you track those patterns over 1 year to 7 years for some of the planets, you track them every night out, you end up with those patterns. Do you see
Yeah, I see the patterns. Yeah.
what part of that don't you understand?
No, I see the patterns, but like is
What part
that
didn't you understand
so?
about it? I'll elaborate.
So with these patterns, is that what you're saying? That's what I'm saying that happens with if the Earth, like if the Earth's around and the planets around.
If
That's
you
No.
what is
if you
happening. Or is that
assume a geocentric position with the Earth not moving and the Earth the center of the cosmos, and you track the movements of all these objects over time, those are the patterns they make in the sky over time.
right?
Yeah, like regardless of your worldview, this is what we notice. I mean, allegedly, like I haven't looked at these patterns myself, but from these findings, right, this is what we see, and what I think is being put forth is this would not be possible in a purely random state, which is what is put forth by the heliocentric model.
But like, well, then how does the sun work and how do seasons work if the Earth's flat?
I'll tell you this, dude. First things first, okay? We don't know everything. Okay? I don't know everything. Nobody does. Okay? So I would say first, let it not be a hindrance to you to at least consider this position, just because maybe one or two questions somebody says I don't know to. Okay, I just want to put that out there, because in reality, as much as there's a lot of presentation out there about all these different pieces in the heliocentric model, a lot of them, as much as there is a lot of posturing in those presentations, largely they don't really know either, but they will admit that it's their best guess, right? So when you follow, so if I were to say I don't know if I were to say I don't know what the sun is, right? Is that okay with you, or are you going to say, "Oh, well, he's an idiot"?
No, I'm
Good.
okay with that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like everything, regardless of whether it's flat Earth ideology or
Yeah. Well,
my ideology, like I feel like everything's just best case scenario. Really, no one really knows
not
the truth.
kind of. I mean, not everything though, right? There are some things that you can know for absolute certainty, some things you can't, right? And the argument being made here is that this bit, right, it can be known to 100% certainty. Not to say that any of us have really gotten there in all parts of it, right? But one thing that we can say for sure, right, is to say that the sun is a giant gas ball burning, trillions of miles away or millions of miles away or whatever in the vacuum of outer space. I mean, that's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. So there's a problem there. Do you know what that is?
Oh fuck, no, I do.
Basically, think about this, right? So if I were to give you a balloon, right, filled it up with air, right, it's under pressure, right? The air inside is pushing up against the balloon on the inside, and it's filling it up, and there you go, right? What happens if I prick a hole in that balloon?
Gonna lose air, I'd assume.
The air is going to fly out, right? Balloon's going to pop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's basically an equalization of pressure, of air pressure, right? So when you have if you have a pocket of higher or lower pressure, air pressure, adjacent to another pocket or volume of different pressure, without a physical boundary, they will equalize.
Okay.
That's why we have to seal the balloon. Same with the tire on your car tires. Shit like that.
Opening a can of soda, it's going to the soda.
Same thing.
The pressure in the can is going to equalize with the air outside of the can once they're opened. It will always eventually reach a state of equilibrium.
Right. So if the sun is a giant ball of gas, uncontained, right? There's no physical boundary surrounding the sun. How is the gas staying in, more or less the same spot without dissipating into the void of outer space?
Yeah, true. Fair.
You follow, right? It's these types of questions that kind of make you go, Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the pressurized Earth system should equalize with the space vacuum void. That would be a violation. The second law of thermodynamics says that if you have two competing systems of different pressure and temperature, when they are introduced to each other, they will quickly reach a state of equilibrium. So the air around the globe should quickly reach a state of equilibrium with the space vacuum void.
And it's not even just gas pressure, right? The law, this law, or I think you already said it, Travis, right? Temperature also. Yeah, it's everywhere, dude. If you take an ice cube out of the freezer, you put it on the table, give it a few minutes, it's going to melt. Why? Because, it's the cold against the hot. It's going to try and balance out.
Entropy.
Yeah, simple.
Well, anyway, fellas, you've enlightened me, given me something to think about and not go to sleep tonight. So I'm going to go.
Heard that one before.
And, come back, Luke. Come back to us. Don't not show your face again.
Yeah, good to have you, man. Conversation.
No, it was good information. It's good to it's good to hear insight from different ideology, I guess. But
I wouldn't use that word, but I hear where you're coming from. Appreciate talking to you, bro.
What word would you use?
I don't think this is an ideology, dude. I don't know if that applies because that term's got a bit of a connotation to it. I'm not sure it's appropriate, but maybe you're using it in a different sense.
Oh, well, no, I probably was using it, but what would be the appropriate word to use for that?
I don't know. You tell me what you were trying to get at.
I'm just like your belief. Like we both have different beliefs, so it's good to hear from
people.
Well,
again,
to me,
that's another thing, man. I don't know if these things qualify as beliefs, dude, because they're backed by evidence, by measurements, by logic, by reason.
But I guess from my point of view is I don't study and I don't really study the science behind it. It's just what at this moment, I know enough of what you're saying, and I know enough of what I've learnt at school, and it's like clashing. So now I'm like, okay, I believe in this. So that's what my belief is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that's where I would. Right. So that's where I think I would put it to you that prior to stumbling on this, I myself was under a certain ideology that I didn't even really know I was. Right. We're kind of fed this heliocentric model since we're kids, prior to being able to actually think about it and process it. Right. And we grow up in the society where everywhere you look, it's globe this and space that and all that shit. That's the ideology, I would say, because you're not presented really with, oh, here's how we know this. This is the test that we did. This is the measurement that we did. This is the experiment that we did to prove this. No, it's just kind of more like a story than anything else. Kind of, cloaked in, the veil of quote unquote science to give it a certain allure or whatnot. But it largely is a story. So that, my friend, I would say is the ideology.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
But anyway, I hear your point. Yeah, these are just ideas, dude. These are just things that, measurements, stuff to talk about. I'm glad
I think the funny part about all this is I come in here as a joke, and now I just learned something. So, all in all, good times. Anyway, you just have a fantastic night, and I'm going to go and not sleep.
You too, man.
All right, see you. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.